Okay, pilots, on to my next project. I've got here a wings maker or world's model, and it's considered to be the J-11B Chinese fighter, but it's so similar to a SU-27 as I put Russian markings on it. Just made it a Russian SU-27. But it's it's one of them weird off the wall jets. And I mean, what I've done here is I bought a kit version of this jet and just recently put free wing landing gear in it because the landing gear really was bad in this. It was even flimsier and worse than the LX model landing gear pilots. So that's SU-35 landing gear that's in this. I've had to cut some pretty good sized holes in it there to get all this stuff lined up. Those wheels don't rotate, they just go straight down, straight up. I've put all free wing servos in it. Okay. I had a free wing outrunner motor, fan, and ESCs, but I couldn't put the Guniac Fiery Booties center burners on it. So I've switched it out. I've had nice video of it on my channel, but I switched it out to the 1850 kV free wing setup. No, not free wing, excuse me. FMS setup. It's in the SU-30. Same ESCs, ADM ESCs, 12 blade fans. Well, what I'm gonna do, get it up here. I've got to install ring burners. And I've got fiery booties. Thanks a lot, Guniac. Let's see here. First thing I gotta do is the rings though. So this is probably part one. I'll be putting a ring in one. Show you how I done it, because if you can tell, this thing's in kind of an angle here. See this wall here is in kind of an angle. So I want my ring to line up exactly right with the edge of that right there, so I don't have to do any cutting on the cover that goes over the top here. It's just gonna go flush right down over top of the ring burner here. But on that angle there, I'm gonna be cutting down, and there's gonna be maybe a slim wall right here, but there's gonna be a groove cutting it down, and then flare it out at the bottom and flare it out at the top here just a little bit. So that's what I gotta do. But first of all, I gotta get these motors out. Get you set up here. Need my glasses. That's one thing I need. This model had all balsa wood inserted already. So all I had to do was just line up holes and do what I needed to do here. And the screwdriver's too big. but there was some boring I had to do to get that 70mm to fit down in a 64mm hole, because that's what this originally was set up for, was a 64mm. So not only am I boring it out to put a 70mm motor in it, now I'm putting 70mm rings and all other kinds of, my washer here's come off, and get that, don't lose that. Oh, I'm gonna beat the heck out of that one, I'm sure. My Hawker Hurricane just went through a hurricane. I beat my head on it. I'm gonna have to go around, take them down, get the landing gear up, put them back up. But I don't like leaving landing gear up because sometimes you can't get it to come back down. Okay. Now it's not gonna be too bad running leads, because leads only gonna go about 5 inches up underneath the cover here, and then it's going to come over here into a wide open area where the ESCs, the control boxes and receivers all right here. I'll have to go up into the cockpit. Alright, now that one's swapped around with the red on the black and the black on the red and the yellow on yellow. That's usually the way that SU-30 set up. I've had to do that on every one of my updates there when I would put this system in one. Upgrade, update, upload. Just do it all. Alright, found him. I kind of got the jet turned wrong for you to see what I'm going to be doing. Still in shot. Old trusty straight blade here. Now, that's good, that's good, that's good. This thing is kind of sitting a little too high here. I'll have to do something about that too, Pops. I've got this Ernest stand. Now let me show you this for a minute, since I'm having to move around here a little bit. I've got my Ernest stand sits right down into my regular stand perfectly here. Right in between the legs, if I got that, you know, the chain difference here, but we're gonna have to get rid of that. I gotta get this thing lower. My other stand don't like jets too well. I just don't want to sit in it right. But let's see what we can do here. I got to set the thing right up on the wings. I mean, you know, if it's hurting, it is hurting. If it ain't, it ain't. Oh, I can tell you. So, what I'm going to be trying to do is cut that little valley there. Let's see if I can get my light over here a little bit better. What's in there? Alright, there's. Now you're going to be going straight down from here, so not really drawing a line is really going to help you out. But if you think you have to. Now this is pretty thick right in this little area right here, and we don't really have to go too far in. Probably about 3 millimeters is what I'm going to try first. Okay, so ain't no sense in just trying to be easy and nice with this thing. If you want to put them ring burners in your jets now, they ain't no easy, and you just got to get in there and do it. It ain't like those center burners. You just kind of take a screw to it, or it's a little bit different here. And it's not gonna be fun because I've got to sit here and kind of really pull some styrofoam out, and I remember how this one don't really like doing that. Just didn't like popping out like the usual styrofoam did. And then up here at the top, I'm really kind of wanting to wait a little bit and get this bottom done first, and then look at how much deeper or what I'm going to have to do at the top. So I'm simply just trying to do half of it right now, just to be able to get the ring in there. See what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, this styrofoam here that this jet was made of just did not want to work with you at all. Just did not. I've got to try to get in there with a piece of sandpaper too after this, after I try to pull all this out. Get it cleaned out. No, I can't take that off. I thought I could take that off. Nope, that one didn't come off. I'll have to do just one second. This styrofoam, like I said before, is pretty thick right all around in here. Don't go crazy. Try to keep it within, your 3 millimeters there. You're trying to just break out just a little wall there of styrofoam, not the whole. Don't make no hole all the way through to the other side. I'm also going to wait and see the last couple of center burners and ring burners that I've installed in jets. After I've tested them and looked at them outside and stuff, heck, I didn't see no need to put my chrome duct tape into the intake, or we go. There's some glue right there. That glue's always kind of a little bit of a sometimes it's hard glue. Like this right here, some hard stuff here. But that's okay. Boozer's had them a little live show today. Flying the duck. I can't remember the name of the movie. And I think it was dadgummit, who was it? Can't think who it was. Starting it now. They made a movie there where he was a spotter on the island and he flew one of them things. The duck. Uh-oh. Got the wrong tool here. I'm looking for the screw. What do I do? It was camouflaged. Yeah, I must have used some 2-part or something right there. Now don't worry about your edge way back there in the back that you want to flare out. You might have to take sandpaper and just, you know, kind of ease that edge out. Because you know how this foam is, it don't break perfectly. I'm going to kind of find me a small piece of 40 grit sandpaper. Go in here and try to rough that up, or try to smooth it up, not rough it up. Trying to keep a straight edge there on that wall of the flaring the other side. What kind of glue that is? Make this edge here look better. see how high I'm gonna have to go. The burner here. I'm just trying to get just enough to where that burner will slide right into that groove I just made. So I'm going to take this razor blade and kind of make a flare cut, just like I was doing on the bottom. I got to try to do on the top here. Really having to go too deep. I'm gonna go too deep. And I try to save that piece there that I'm cutting out in case I got to use it as a filler. I'm not really worried about making the whole flare cut this time. I'm just making one that'll let that ring burner sit back up in there. And then later I'll get the flare worked on out. As I've learned with these ring burner spots, you can't be forcing these things into a hole. It's just got to fall in that hole. Because if you force it into a place, on my F14 I got a couple bulbs that went out because I believe what I done is I put too much pressure on that ring you're putting it in, and it made those lights lose connection. Leads is going to be going straight down because the motor leads just kind of works right on out there. Right on out. That's what I thought it was, that piece of that gum line of glue. I don't know what in the world. I know I didn't do that. This got to be something else. It just don't seem like I'm cutting into two-part. It's something else there they put on that thing. having to make this wide enough for that ring to slide down in there. I forgot to make the valley for the leads. Like the love of RC. I've got to make the valley for the leads. Okay. You can see my flare out back in there, all the way around the bottom. And if you'll note, if you can see it here, it's kind of hard to see with it all being one color. There's kind of a trench cut right up through here, right straight up through here, right up through here. Okay, on both sides. That's for that ring to slide down into the hole and go up in there. And that's what we're gonna fix and do, because this is gonna be a one-time deal, pilots. One-time shot. I got to find that groove. Where it is. Okay. See there? Now, I've got to take it back out because I've got to finish. But what I'm saying about it, I've got a little bit right here on the top. I've got to trim just a little bit because I want all that flush right there for that panel to go over top of it. See? So let's kind of ease this back out here. And then take my piece of sandpaper to it, and then we should be able to put it in there. I hope I can just take this piece of sandpaper and do it up here, because it's hard to do it when you're upside down. Wanting to do some more here. Remember how I said it was just a little bit tight? I could reach in there like that, it'd be a whole lot easier. Oop. Looking how even my circle is all the way around. Ain't gonna sand it too good on that glue spot. Alright, let's go ahead and get this untied. Well, there's a certain way you plug it into that control box. And if you'll note that it's got two leads going to this ring. I imagine due to the change in the colors, you know, and whatnot. But they go into the control box. And here's the two leads that I've just unwound. These are two I just unwound. Notice how one's way over here, one's right here. And then the other two leads, the other burner goes on this one and this one in here. They kind of offset there a little bit. So what I like to do before I do any unplugging of these is I like to take some masking tape or electrical tape or anything, whatever you want to do, to mark the two that match. Okay, I want this one. And I got this one. I got that one marked now. It's still wound up. And this one marked. It's still wound up to that burner. Okay. That way I'll know the way to plug it up. Keep them correct. So I'm going to unplug these for right now. Untangled here. Let's go some more. Go some more. There we go. Down there. Oh yeah. Looks good and even all the way around. Okay. So all I've got to do now, pilots, is I've got a few little spots there where I had to cut that valley to get the ring down in there, but that's what I got. That's what I kept my little piece right here for, so that I can glue them back into them little valleys there that I cut out. I'll get you close here.